Hey guys, this is Chris from Empire Bricks and welcome to a brand new LEGO Star Wars set pre-review. Today we're having a look at the brand new set 75212, the Kessel Run Millennium Falcon. The set will have 1414 pieces. It is set to retail for $169.99 in dollars and very probably the same amount in euros or a little bit more. And the set will be released this year in 2018 on April the 20th. So guys, a brand new Millennium Falcon, and in this pre-review we will be having a very first look at all the minifigures, the set itself, and what our thoughts are on this brand new set that will be coming to us very soon. So as always, let's start with the minifigures. I'll go through them as in the same order as they are on the box, starting with Qi'Ra. She is a brand new character for the Star Wars universe, and we do not know that much about her, except for the fact that the stuff that we have seen in the trailer or the teaser, and the fact that she's been portrayed by Emilia Clarke, who we all know from Game of Thrones. Now, this minifigure doesn't look too detailed. There's a small, just some simple printing on the front. No visible leg printing at least, and no idea what's on the back, but I'm assuming just the back of a jacket, nothing special. It's an okay hairpiece. It's an okay face. Probably a double-sided face. Hard to tell what's on the other side though, but nothing too special about her except for that she's a brand new character. The second minifigure on the box is someone we all know and love, and that is Han Solo. Now he has kind of new gear from what we are used to, but it's a jacket, some belts on his leg printing. He comes with a blaster, as we can see. The hairpiece is the same that we know from the recent Millennium Falcon, and I guess the face is kind of familiar but a little bit younger. The third minifigure on the box is Chewie, and it's very hard to tell if this is a brand new mold, but it does look like one for Chewie. And he has kind of weird eyes in this picture, but I guess that we're getting a brand new Chewie, which is good because he hasn't been revamped at all for quite a long time. Now I can understand why, because there's not that much that changes about Chewie that is worth making a new mold for. But I guess this is just a little bit different. I can see that the belt is, or at least seems different from the other versions, and there's a small pouch on his lower torso. Still some simple printing on his legs, but there is something about his face that seems different from the previous versions, and also the coloring makes him seem a little bit younger than the Chewie that we have seen in the movies until now. And he seems to come with a very large blaster, not the bowcaster that we all know from the other movies. So the fourth character in this set is, of course, Lando Calrissian. Now, this is a character that is absolutely famous in the Star Wars universe, but we haven't seen too much of him in movies, and we have seen a few of them of his minifigure in several sets, but not too many. Quite a rare figure to get, so it's very cool to have another Lando Calrissian to add to the collection. And this is a younger version, so they gave him some different hair, and he has some very 70s style clothing and printing, I guess. Very curious what kind of costume he'll be wearing in the movie, because he has sort of a double-sided cape that goes down as well as up as a sort of collar, and he comes with a medium-sized silver blaster. So quite an eccentric figure, and I'm guessing that this will be one to collect for sure. That will be one that is pretty rare pretty soon. Now these were all kind of familiar characters except for Qi'Ra, but we have seen her in the teaser for the new movie. Now there is some new characters that are absolutely new. The first one is, if I pronounce it well, Qui Tulsite, and I have no idea what his role will be in the new movie, but he does look really, really cool. Some things we can tell about him is that he is probably not human, but some sort of alien species. He has this really cool mold as a helmet, something that we haven't seen before, and is brand new for this character. Some pretty detailed and cool printing on his front. And as for example, the Newt Gunray figure, he comes with a robe piece instead of legs, which makes him kind of special, so I'm really looking forward to this character. And he comes with a small blaster, so I'm figuring that he might be some kind of bounty hunter, scoundrel kind of type. At least some shady person that Han has to deal with, but I'm not guessing in a positive way. Um, Next up is the sixth figure from this set, and this is something very special. This is a Kessel operations droid, and he looks absolutely amazing. If we have a closer look to his front printing and leg printing, it kind of resembles the ones that we know from C3PO. It's open wired belly piece where you can actually see the inside of the droid. There's some round details on the torso that we know from C3PO. There's a lot of wiring on the legs as well, and he seems to have quite a lot of dirt on his body. So far, the comparison to C3PO, the head is completely different. It's a regular minifigure head, but with some very special printing. And just like the previous figure that we discussed, I think that this will be an absolute collector's item for anybody who is into droids, into Star Wars droids, and collecting those. So also a very cool figure. I love the red, and I'm really looking forward to getting this one. Up to the seventh figure of this set, and it's another droid, and this is the droid called DDBD. So kind of a weird name for a droid. Not sure what he's all about, but what I do like is that they did not use another astromech and just give him a new name and new printing. This is actually a new kind of droid that we haven't seen before, although the name does suggest that he is at least familiar to astromech droids, and he is using the pieces that are normally used to build an astromech, except that they are, or at least seem to be, upside down. If you look closely, the torso of what is mostly R2D2 is upside down with a different printing, and the head of a D4 or an R4 unit is on top. There is a round 1x1 tile, a black tile on top of the head, and there is a special bracket with some leg pieces underneath. So this is a droid that can walk, and I'm really looking forward to the role that this droid will be getting. I'm just guessing that the Kessel operations droid and this DDBD will have kind of the role that normally would be portrayed by BB-8, R2D2, or C3PO. So I'm just hoping they're not some comic duo. They're just, I'm not sure. I'm thinking they should be working together in the movie, but they do look very different. And for example, the Kessel operations droid had a lot of dirt on him, and this one does not seem to have the same thing. So maybe they're totally not related, but I'm guessing these two will be together in a movie somewhere. So those were all the minifigures of the set. Now have a look at the actual ship, because that's what it's all about. And here it is. You can see that Lego has been a little bit lazy in some aspects. I mean, of course, it's another Millennium Falcon, and they cannot help that it's the same ship in a new movie. But if you have a look at how this ship is constructed, it does look a lot like the previous version, the Set 75105, except for the fact that this one is completely white. And I have looked at the teaser trailer a lot of times now for the new Solo movie, and it's very hard to tell. You can see the ship for a few seconds, and I would have to say that's still gray, but it's a lighter gray because it's newer, so I'm guessing that's why they made it white. But I'm afraid that they mismatched the color and that it actually should be light bluish gray, even though that would be a tad too dark for the reality. I think white is not a good choice, but we'll have to wait for more visual material from the movie before we can really judge it. So what is different from this Millennium Falcon and from the previous versions? Well, the most significant difference is, of course, the fact that the two pieces that are sticking out from the Falcon are normally separated by a gap, and this gap is now gone. It's filled up, and there has been a lot of talk about this. And all I can say is that they're having pictures from the I guess New York Toy Fair, where you can actually see that this part between the gap is detachable, and it's some kind of shuttle or cargo unit. So you can actually take it out, and it will look like the Millennium Falcon that we all know and love again. So I'm guessing that's a good thing. I like that it has something extra. That also explains the extra pieces, because with 1,414 pieces, this set is a little bit bigger than the previous Falcon. So makes sense that these pieces went into filling up that gap. Some other stuff that we can see is, of course, the blue. I'm not sure what that is. In the previous Falcons, we had some dark red some brown pieces to kind of simulate rusty patches, I guess. And I'm not sure what this blue is all about. It might be the original painting from the Corellian manufacturers, but yeah, we'll just have to see. It does look pretty cool, although I wish that the whole ship itself was dark or light bluish gray. Looking on top of the ship, we can see a single blaster cannon, which is different from the quad cannon that we know from the previous versions. So I'm guessing that's the original cannon that came with the ship. Another small difference is the satellite dish, which in this picture is pointing upwards. I'm not sure if you can actually position it. It does look to be attached with a bracket of some sort or a ball joint, so I'm thinking that you can adjust the angle of which it's aimed at, but not sure about that. But it's definitely a different satellite dish from previous Millennium Falcons. So, and from the outside, that is almost the only thing that you can really distinguish from previous versions and what is really different, except for the coloring, of course. But I'm expecting a lot of the same stuff inside of the ship, except for the fact that it will just look newer and less used. So that's it. That's a lot of stuff going on with this new Millennium Falcon. I'm really looking forward to the minifigures especially, but we'll all have to wait until April 20th until this set comes out. I really hope you all enjoyed this pre-review. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.